I've come up with 6 things that you need to know as a new father about the postpartum period. Okay, so following on from our previous topic about how
Mhm.
to take care of a newborn, we're now moving on to the next phase.
Drum roll. Yeah, okay. Right. I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
Are you sure?
I don't know what it is, but yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, the subject is postpartum for dads.
Postpartum for dads. I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so it's basically the period that follows birth and lasts around 6 weeks. And this topic's essentially going to be about you and me and all the things that we can expect that are going to go on between us during that time.
After birth.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, right. This sounds serious.
very.
Okay.
We're going to kick this off with a really important topic. Obviously, it's essential to keep an eye on mum in the postpartum period because of a thing called postpartum depression. Have you heard of that?
I've read about it kind of. I've seen it in stories, but I don't really know much about it myself.
Okay, so obviously it's depression during the postpartum period. So I'm
Once the
sure
baby's
you,
arrived.
yeah. So if you know something about depression, it's going to show up with the new baby around.
Right.
But we're going to spin this around and look out for the symptoms in dad,
Okay.
okay? Because there is such a thing as paternal PPD,
Hmm.
and that shows up in 1 in every 10 fathers.
Wow.
Yeah, so quite significant.
That is.
Yeah,
Okay. So I could be that 1 in 10. Hopefully not, but
yeah,
all right. So interesting.
yeah. So that can, show up a lot like depression, feeling angry or irritable, withdrawn. So with dad, he might become detached from the family, might be wanting to hide away, um, could show up in risk-taking behaviors even,
Okay. So
which would be unusual for you, but
I'm a risky man. So
yeah.
how will you know? How will you know? Do you think you know me well enough?
Yeah, I think anything that sits out of the usual box would be an alarm bell.
Okay. You try to tell me I fit into a box.
For me, I think I know you well enough that I
You've
can,
got your own box.
yeah, all
Okay.
the ingredients are in there. So
Right.
if there's anything suspicious in there, I
Yeah.
think I know about it.
Okay. And so what would you do if I was feeling that way or showing up that way?
Well, likewise, both ways, like communicate,
Mm,
essential to communicate. So keep talking to each other.
mm.
You got to find the time amidst the chaos. And I mean, there's lots of amazing services out there for people struggling. So yeah, reach out to those. And don't forget that your midwife's going to be visiting you a lot during the postpartum period. So
Visiting me.
both of us.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
what am I doing? Checkups? Do I have to, you know, yeah, hopefully she doesn't weigh me right now
No, but she'll probably ask us how we're feeling. So, and it's really important to be honest.
as a team, as a unit.
Yeah.
Right. But also as an individual.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm a pretty honest character. So, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. We got this.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Okay, this next subject I know could cause a lot of arguments in the household in general, kids or no kids. So household chores and tasks. Obviously, mum's just had a human being exit their body, and as you
Mm.
can imagine, there's a lot of healing involved. So there's a lot of tasks she's probably not going to be up to doing, as well as just being, one on one with the baby. It's going to be a challenge. So, what would you say you would excel at the most when it comes to lightening the load for mum?
Well, my wizardry around morning coffees, making sure you come alive in the morning
Hmm.
because that's an important thing for you
Yeah.
because you look like a zombie in the morning.
Yeah,
So
you do that well already.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So we'll continue to do that. I would imagine, making breakfast for the
mm,
whole gang in the house
yeah.
because yeah, we've got to feed the animals, so to speak. And I would suspect I will probably get the nod to drop kids off at school. Not maybe sometimes, not all the time, maybe all the time, who knows, but something along those lines.
Okay.
And probably just some general cleaning around the house just to try and lighten the load. I love my vacuum cleaning, so
You do.
I can pick that bad boy up and yeah, we're away laughing. So maybe that could be what I could do. What are your thoughts?
Yep, I can see it. I already know that you're an amazing vacuumist.
Yeah.
It's probably a new word, but hey, use it freely if you want to.
Yeah.
So basically, it's going to be boiled eggs all round and yelling to get the shoes on from you.
Oh, okay. So I'm a little bit worried about this part though,
Right.
specifically because this is my first time having a child, a newborn child, and being around that full time. You've done this 2 times already, so are you going to try and milk me uh, to not like literally,
Okay.
but milk the situation to get me doing a whole lot of stuff, and you're like actually okay?
I don't know. We'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. I
Okay.
mean, obviously, it sounds lovely, but yeah, I'm not the sort of person that does well just kind of sitting around. So I'll actually find it really hard
Yeah.
trying to lay off everything, I think.
Okay. So I'm essentially going to have to force you to rest.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. All right. Can do. Can
Okay.
do.
Okay. The subject of eating. Obviously, it's a chaotic time. I wonder what kind of foods and things we'll be consuming during that period.
I loves to eat, even though I'm on a diet right now to try and get into the best shape I can for what's ahead. Yeah, eating is going to be a real interesting dynamic for us because everyone in the house eats a wee bit different. We've got kids that don't like certain textures, they don't like certain foods. I'm like, when I got into that kind of scenario, I'm like, what the heck?
Mm.
But it's a real thing. It's a real thing. So I guess we're gonna have to kind of juggle with that. I'm all good with like cooking everyone, their different things that they need and require. It would be cool if there was like a DoorDash though that for parents. Not that we probably want to have
Yeah.
desserts delivered to us, which is what I do right now.
Yeah, I think wholesome nutritious meals, and obviously the big thing is to meal prep before baby comes. You can do
True.
that. Throw a few meals in the freezer. It definitely makes life easier.
Prep it up.
And if like you put some money aside, you want to treat yourself during that period. There are some amazing businesses that deliver postpartum meals.
Okay, I'm down with that. I like my deliveries of food.
Yeah, I don't know who does it, so if anyone's out there that can help us, we'd probably be keen to investigate that.
So there's people out there that deliver foods for families or like that have
Yeah.
just had children.
Yeah, and the great thing about it is that they're obviously really nutritious and they help
Right.
and aid in recovery and everything as well. So I think that's really important.
Well, if we can't find one of those, I know Dylan said when I caught up with him the other day that he was happy to maybe I think it was Dylan. Yeah, it might have been Dylan. He said he'd bring around some food if required.
Oh, yeah, some mac and cheese or something.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Or some McDonald's. Who knows? I
Yeah.
don't know. But it'd be good to get the nutritious stuff, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Cool. I like that. That's a good option.
So this next thing I could see completely falling by the wayside, with us being so busy with everything. But how do you think that we can connect with each other amidst all the chaos?
For me, I think it's about scheduling time, right?
Mm.
That's the important thing is to have those moments that you create on a regular basis so that you can disconnect and I mean we like to just kind of hang out and chew the fat and have a bit of a yarn about things and yeah just be us in that zone. So I'm curious to see how that kind of rolls forward in our new life
Yeah.
with the new person in there. But yeah, I think it's just kind of staying consistent with how we do stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely. Just dialing up the communication, I think. So
Mm,
just checking in more regularly with each other.
yeah.
Yeah, see if there's anything we want to talk about, anything you want to get off your chest. I think that's good. And obviously that brings you closer together and helps with your bond and everything.
Yeah. So maybe some extra like noises from me.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to sing or
Oh,
dance, I love you dancing. So
maybe I can get some grunts, some baby grunts along the way, like you were teaching me the
yeah,
other day.
yeah, and more coffee, lots of
Load
coffee,
us up.
coffee and yarns, and maybe a few walks if we're up to it.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely.
Well, we live in the spot where we are at the moment, where there's
Yeah.
like perfect, like easy walks, nice and easy, back and done.
Yeah, sometimes all you need is a bit of fresh air, I think.
Amen to that.
Okay, this could be a touchy subject for some.
Oh, okay.
Depends how much you like people. But yeah, there's the whole subject of visitors postpartum. Like, how soon do you allow people in to see baby? Do you think sooner the better, or do we take time to get to know baby and figure out what we're doing first.
Good question. I, as you know, I don't really like people coming into my personal space. That's just a weird thing that I have. So I probably wouldn't feel comfortable having people come around, especially from the get go. But this is how I would do it. This sounds really crazy, and hopefully, there's other people out there like me that are this crazy. I would probably rather go to their place and go see them there just so I can get out of the house probably and I can hit and run afterwards,
Yeah.
just get out of there. So the weirdest thing is when you have visitors
Mhm.
that don't leave
Yeah.
and you want them to leave. They're nice people, all right, but after a period of time, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the weather for the 17th time for this conversation.
Yeah.
So that's probably how I would roll. Is that how other people do it too?
Yeah, well, I'm with you with that. We're very similar in that respect, so that works well.
Okay.
Phew, yeah. I think it's such a precious time to get to know baby and yeah, figure out what you're doing.
This
There's
is my
plenty of time to meet baby.
This is my first time doing it.
Mm.
Probably my last time, probably. No, it will
You keep saying that.
Yeah, I know. It's a dangerous word
Mm.
to use. But I just want to make the most of
Yeah.
like this kind of this time,
Yeah.
right?
So we have two other kids, I don't know if you've noticed.
Hmm.
And it's obviously really important to make them feel seen, heard, and appreciated during this time. So, how do you think that we can do that?
Yeah. Well, there's already four very different personalities that
Yeah,
live in this house. So, and with a fifth dynamic thrown into the mix, that will be taking quite a bit of a like energy from me and you.
yeah,
It's going to be a challenge, I think, to be
yeah,
honest. But I think it's more about, again, kind of same thing, creating space with individuals. So taking them out one on one and just, yeah, spending some time with them outside of the house. But also, I would imagine giving them some quality time with our new kid too.
yeah, definitely. So, one on one time and making them feel included, the baby,
Mm.
if they want to help out with things. And in general, like doing things for the baby is a great way for them to bond and connect. So,
I'm pretty sure Lola said she wants to be the nanny straight out of the blocks.
yeah, I think she'll change her mind when she opens her first nappy.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
probably never see her again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very sweet. She's very excited and she wants to help as much as possible. So hopefully, if that's still the case, that will make her feel included.
I imagine if, yeah, the newborn kid we have, even if it's a boy or a girl, it's gonna have a full face of makeup probably in its second week of like living.
Yeah, I'm surprised Olive's got away with it for so long.
Yeah, yeah, true. Oh well, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. We'll just have to, yeah, spread the love
Yeah,
and the energy across the whole squad.
that's right. Spread the love. Love it. Okay, well, I'm done asking you questions. Now I'm
Okay.
just going to
Phew.
spit straight facts.
Oh, here's fact, Mama.
Yep. So I've got some facts coming your way.
Okay, spit him.
All right. The first one. Did you know that women experience contractions after birth?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's like as if giving birth isn't hard enough, we have to go through this afterwards. So, fortunately, it's kind of not as intense. I mean, it's painful, but it doesn't last as long. So, it's essentially just your uterus contracting back to its original size, which can take up to 6 weeks. So, if you see me keeling over and looking in pain, that's probably why.
Okay. All right.
And obviously, when that whole thing's going on as well, mummy's tummy is shrinking. So a lot of people think mum goes into the hospital, gives birth to the baby, and then the stomach just you know, shrivels up like a balloon. But that's not the case. Not for a lot of people anyway. Yeah, it takes time. It takes time for that tummy to retract. So anyone who's going through this, it doesn't matter how long it takes. You know, your journey is your journey, and yeah, you're acing it. Okay, this next fact, I remember this all too well, so I can't say I'm looking forward to it much, but night sweats.
Whoa.
When I mean night sweats, I mean drenched through to the bone, duvet, bed, having to get up and essentially shower and clean yourself off. Mum's hormones are going for a massive adjustment. Obviously, that affects a lot of things, your emotional well-being. But yeah, it can make you sweat a lot, and especially at night. So if you're wondering why the bed's so wet, that's why.
Okay. Good FYI there. All right. Thank you.
So I haven't experienced this yet, and yeah, my heart goes out to all those C-section mamas. I've heard it's a bit more of a grueling process, as it can take 12 weeks for the stitches to heal. So that period of recovery is a lot more intense than a regular delivery. Obviously, that depends on a lot of different things, but yeah, that can be quite a challenge for mums that go through that.
So, do you know if you get like you're getting a C-section?
Sometimes
before?
and early on, if there's any kind of complications you might already know about. And then sometimes it's just, yeah, things can change. It's always great to have a birth plan, but yeah, you have to be prepared for anything. So,
A birth plan.
yeah. And if mum gets a C-section, she will probably end up staying in hospital a little longer. So, yeah, there might be more responsibilities that you have to take on if that's the case.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
FYI,
Yeah. All right.
just in cases.
Yeah.
Okay, I saved the best for last. Hopefully you'll like this one.
All right.
So a lot of things change for dad when a newborn arrives, that postpartum period. Apparently your brain kind of expands
Okay. Apparently, well, I hope it does. I've got a lot of room inside the skull for my brain to
for more
grow.
neurons and things
Okay,
to
I'll take that.
develop. So studies have shown that in fatherhood, structural changes in the area of the brain related to empathy, caregiving, and decision making develop. The prefrontal cortex, the amygdala, and ventral tegmental. Hopefully, I got that right. All these areas are involved in reward processing. So it showed increased activity, growth, suggesting heightened empathy, emotional sensitivity, and motivation. So that brain's going to get bigger.
The brain gets bigger as the heart gets bigger with the little one.
Yeah.
Do you think like I've got empathy already?
Yeah, you do. But you might just cry a little more than usual. Like happy tears,
Yeah.
hopefully. Hopefully.
Well, yeah, true.
Yeah,
Okay. Do you think I'm going to cry when I see our child for the first time?
I hope so. After everything I go through, I hope so.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
So obviously you're learning a lot of new information at the moment.
Lots.
And obviously in our previous conversation, you learned about newborns, and now you've just learned about postpartum. And both of these subjects, there's a lot more we could add to the conversation. So there's more learning going on. But how do you feel about that?
I feel like my brain is growing already.
Okay.
And I'm not stressed out and worried about some of the stuff. It's just good to know.
Yeah.
And I always like kind of chatting stuff out first
Mm.
before things happen too. So, okay, I feel like I'm getting some tools to prepare myself for being a
Yeah.
daddy.
It's always good to be prepared. You don't want any nasty surprises.
Well, hey, look, there will be some surprises of some sorts, but I think, like generally speaking, in my mind, it comes down to the communication between us, right? So
Yeah.
I think we're going to be good.
Agree.